Hiya, welcome back. So, can you really buy a reliable premium brand estate car for 300 quid? So as you've probably seen from some of the exterior shots, this isn't exactly a pristine version of a Volkswagen Passat, but it is a very good one. It's very solid underneath. It drives really, really well. It pulls like a train. There is no issues with power whatsoever. Obviously, the same with any Volkswagen that gets old. There are some trim issues here and there. There's some stuff with rust, as you've seen on the outside of the wheel arches and bits and pieces like that. There's a few issues with the electrics. So this particular model is the 1.9 TDI PD 130, so it's 130 horsepower, it's pretty quick, it's just run in, it's just got to 207,430 miles, so it's probably due its first service soon, so we'll have to book that in. Joking aside, they just go on forever. My Golf had half that mileage when it went, unfortunately, but the Passat is a little bit more premium. The B5 Passat came out, I mean this is the B5.5, which is the facelifted version. It had some new tweaky bits with suspension and lights, but it came around like 2001, 2002, something like that. It's a much nicer vehicle than the previous one to drive because it's effectively an Audi A4 underneath. Although the previous one was an Audi 80, there are elements of it that it's not as comfortable to drive. I think Audi used rocks for suspension in some of their previous version. I think you need the build quality. The earlier stuff is a lot better built than some of the newer stuff. It might be faster, it might be more, tech filled, but the older stuff, I think, to be fair, is a lot better built. Especially if you go for the engine of choice, which is this one, the 1.9 PD engine. That's right, TDI PD. Anyone who knows anything about cars know that these engines will go forever. At one point in the future, when all the bombs go off, there'll be ants, locusts, and 1.9 PD engines everywhere. There is no issues whatsoever with it driving. It makes a lot of bing and bonging noises, so I think there is a few issues with sensors and a few things that need changing, and I wouldn't be surprised if it could do with a new ABS sensor, to be honest. I've been driving this around for about 10-15 minutes now, and there really is, to drive, there's nothing wrong with it. It's lovely. It needs work in certain areas, but it starts, it stops. Now I suppose you're thinking, do I really need to pay £20,000 or £30,000 for a car? Well, no, you don't these days, to be fair. A few things to look for when buying a Passat of this age. Injectors is one of the things that tends to go sometimes, so make sure it starts easily and it runs smoothly and ticks over okay. Otherwise you might be faced with having to replace an injector or two, which is always an extra cost. Make sure the brakes have been done. Make sure, check all the ABS sensors all the way around, because they do tend to go. This one particularly has an issue with one of them, so that needs to be addressed. But though it doesn't stop you using the vehicle, it is something that's required to be fixed for an MOT, and it is better for your own safety. Please make sure you've got as much service history as you can. Obviously with a car that's £300, you're going to be a bit hit and miss where you end up with a receipt or a massive book of service history. So that's a bit of a lottery, but you can soon tell by the quality of the oil. Realistically, by looking at the oil filter, you can see whether it's been replaced recently. Also check things like the cabin filter, and the air filter will also give you a bit of an idea. If they're black and filthy, it's not been maintained. Also check for cracks in the windscreen. This one's got quite a hefty crack, which is an MOT failure, so you will need to get that addressed. The little things, although they do seem cheap for buying the car in the first place, they do add up, so you really do need to be a little bit careful. So yeah, can you buy a reliable premium brand diesel estate car for 300 quid? Yes, you can. Waka. Just get the brakes checked first. Thank you for watching. Take care.